Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. And today's topic is about understanding how SAS stores date and date time and their impact. The first point here, what I want to say is both date and date time are saved as numbers, but the way they are stored as numbers is quite different and it is important to know. Reference point for both date and date time is January 1, 1960. In case of date, if we want to store January 1, 1960, behind the scenes it stores it as 0. And if you want to store January 2nd, 1960, it stores as 1. Means for every day one number increases starting from January 1, 1960. For date time, let us look into little bit in more detail. For date time, here I have two components. The first component is date and the second component is time, wherein the time is shown in hours followed by minutes followed by seconds. And here what happens is, again, this is the reference point for us and it is stored as 0. But if we increase 1, it increases only 1 second. Means to go to a different day, we have to add lot of seconds so that it goes to the next day. Now, let us try to understand this with a couple of examples in here. Now, here I have two data sets which I want to create. The first one is A, second one is A1, and here I am storing A equal to 360. Here also I am storing A equal to 360. But what I am trying to do in the first case is I am trying to apply a format, and here I am giving a date format. And in this case I am giving date time format. Before that, let's quickly run this and see our result. In the case of dataset A, you can see that we have given 360. It has taken to 360 days from 1 Jan 1960. So this is 26 December 1960, total of 360 days. But if we look into A1, where we have given a format which is date time, what has simply has happened is it has moved to additional 6 minutes from 01 Jan 1960, 0 hours, 0 minutes and 0 seconds, because the number we have given is 360 and 360 seconds is equal to 6 minutes. Now let us go a little bit deep. Here what I am trying to do is I am trying to give a date literal. A date literal is nothing more than giving our date in this particular fashion, wherein SAS understands that we are trying to provide a date. And then the common format is we need to first give our day followed by month in 3 digits followed by year in the quotes followed by D. Now, once I run this, what is going to happen is it's going to show me the number in which it is stored. And now let me run this, and here you can see that this is 23742. This indicates that these many days have happened from Jan 1, 1960. And then if I apply format, I'm not going to see the number, but I'm going to see the date in that particular format. And now let me quickly run this and see our result. And in the result now you can see that the date is in the format we are interested. Whenever we don't provide the format, we will just see the numbers. Often understanding the numbers is very difficult because we have to calculate. In that fashion, it is always very useful to know date literals, because if you are interested in a particular date, we can literally give this. If we want to provide a date time literal, this is the fashion we are going to provide it. Again, we have 01 as our day followed by our month in 3 letters and then year followed by hours, minutes and seconds in quotes followed by DT. This tells us the SAS system that what we are providing to SAS is a date time. Now if we run this, because we are looking into sometime in 01 Jan 2025, our number is a much larger number because these are seconds from 1 Jan 1960. Now if I apply date time format on this value, it is not going to show me as a number, but it is going to show me in a particular format which I am interested in. Here the datetime format is called as datetime dot. And now let us quickly run this and see our result. In the result you can see that we have in one of the datetime formats. Here the important thing to remember is date and datetime are stored in numbers, but they are displayed in the format we want by applying formats. And now I want to discuss one last thing, that is what will happen if we take a date or date time and we do not apply the exact formats, but we are applying for a date time format, and for date time a date format. Now let us look into the scenario 1 where I want to use a date and apply date time format. To make it simple, what I'm doing in here is I'm creating two variables with the same value, that is with the same date literal, and that is 01 Jan 2025. And what I want to do in here is I want to take this second variable and then I want to apply datetime dot. And here first we need to understand is whenever I provide a date literal, what it is going to do is it is going to convert into the numbers behind the scene, and the format is applied after it is converted into number. Now here what I have done is I have not formatted one of them so that you can see what number this one will have, because both B and C are going to be stored as the same number behind the scenes. Now let us quickly run this and see our result. And in the result you can see that it has stored in 23742 for the variable B, and for variable C also it will be stored as 23742. And this 23742 in the context means starting from 0 to the date we have provided, that many days have happened. Once it has stored as number, what I have told to do is one of this number to be converted into date time. So 23742, when I want to convert into date time, it means number of seconds in here, means 23742 seconds means it is close to 6 hours have passed. From 01 Jan 1960, 0 hours, 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Now let us look into another scenario where we are giving a date time and then we are applying a date format. Again, I am following the same strategy wherein I am creating two variables and I am giving the same date time for both the variables. And I am doing this so that you can see the numbers it is stored behind the scene for this particular value, and for this particular value it will be storing in the same number, but I am going to apply a date format to it. Now let us quickly run this and see our result. In here you can see that the particular date time we have given is stored as 15,000, mean those many seconds have passed by from 01 Jan 1960, 0 hours, 0 minutes and 0 seconds. And same will happen to the variable C also. It will be storing as 15,000, but as we have asked for a date format, that 15,000 into number of days, and it is going to show us 25 Jan 2001. So to conclude, even though date and date time values are stored as numbers, but how the numbers are incremented is quite different. One increment in the number means 1 day in the case of date. One increment in the case of date time means a second. So be wary of this particular thing whenever you are using date and date time, they are handled quite differently behind the scenes in SAS. That's all for this video. Thank you.